tech-integrated learning in every faculty. At UTS, creativity meets technology.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very happy to have people here interested in our course and listening to our students' story today. My name is Helen Huang, and I'm one of the partners and growth team members at UTS College. And also here today, we will have Jessica Jung. So today I'm going to introduce the UTS briefly, and then we are going to have an interview session with Jessica Jung. And then Jessica, she's one of our wonderful alumni who will talk about her studying and career pathway later on. Followed by, who is UTS College, and then we are going to have a Q&A session. Please be informed that we are recording today's session, and just a little housekeeping before we get started. Feel free to enter any questions you have in mind by the question and answer widget at the bottom of your screen. We will do our best to answer your questions. Okay, about the UTS, we ranked world top. We are number one young university in Australia by QS World University Ranking, and then number 8 in the world. I'd like to highlight our graduate employability rate. We ranked world ranking 62 in the world, and we positioned top 5 in Australia. UTS is located in the middle of the city, Sydney, city of the Sydney. As everyone knows, Sydney is ranked as world ranking 9. The livable city in the world, and the world ranking 4 for the safest city in the world. Okay, so I'd like to invite Jessica. Yeah, hello, Jessica. Thank you for your time today, Jessica. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'll just quickly share my screen. Yeah, can you guys?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for having me to this webinar. I'm Jess. I'm from Korea. I'm a UTS College alumni and graduated visual communication and design from UTS. I'm currently working as a digital designer at Whitetower Digital, and we are based in Sydney. I design websites and applications for organizations and other companies in my team.
Thank you, Jessica. To start with, I just want to ask you about what made you decide to come to Australia for studying when you decide to study design, and then maybe your the study package with the UTS College and UTS.
Yeah, sure. Well, for me personally, if I think of studying design overseas, Australia was not in the priority country to think of. It was either UK or the States. But the points that made me decide to come to Australia was that the Australian market was much bigger than I thought. And since it's a English-speaking country, I could see many potentials in developing my careers in global companies than I was in Korea. Going overseas isn't an easy decision for everyone, including myself. and I did lots of research while preparing for it. I found UTS while researching, and there were several points that were very appealing to me. For the first point was that the UTS is one of the best unis in Australia for design, and it's really fast-growing uni, so I could see the potential of the uni itself. For the second point, I could see great curriculums from the online handbook that you can access from the UTS website that offer collaborating projects with big companies such as Google, Combank, IKEA, and etc. Last but not least, for the third point was that I could see many alumni reviews from UTS. The UTS provides practical design education, like teaching how to use design tools and Adobe suites. And it was a really important point for me because I've seen many of my design friends who couldn't learn the practical education from the uni, but just rather focusing on the other stuffs like fundamentals and academic stuffs. So they had to spend their spare time learning how to use the design tools in the academy. So after this research, I decided my mind to apply for UTS and decided my mind to come to Sydney. Yeah.
Okay, so you did a lot of research, and then you decide come to Australia and UTS, right?
Yeah.
During your study, how was your experience as a student at UTS College, together UTS College and UTS? Did you get any support from uni?
Yeah, definitely. My uni life was great, and it was actually really fun. The things that I just mentioned about UTS, the 3 points, I could actually experience all of those. And besides that, since there are many international students like me, the tutors are really willing to help the students settle into Sydney life as a design student. For example, like from where to get the unique design materials to teach how to read the academic design papers and reference them. I really liked how the tutors trying to let us experiment various type of the projects, materials, any other various things for the project, and to develop the design thinking skills by recording the process journals. The thing I strongly want to recommend is a buddy program in UTS College, which connects a group of design students with an alumni. In this mentoring program, I was a mentee, and it was a life changer for me because I could get many useful tips from my mentor and could build the design network there. So generally, so I'm really happy with the overall course and the skills that I've learned from uni, which were actually applicable on my actual projects, not just simply doing the uni assignments and that's it. For example, like presenting skills, meeting with the clients, critical thinking, and so on.
Yeah, we for UTS college student, we always encourage student to get a mentor. So how did you find out this, information to get you can get a mentor?
So I think I could get the information from the orientation week and applied for the buddy program on the student center.
So your mentor was, the senior student who was studying the same major, DAB design student?
Yeah, she was same as me. She was in the DAB. She was one of the UTS College alumni, and she was studying the bachelor course back then.
Yeah.
So she could give,
Yeah.
she was like a really freshly graduated from UTS College. So she could help us doing assignments, where to get like the inspirations online.
Mhm.
Yeah, really practical stuffs. Yeah, she was like a tutor for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's really, really good story. I guess now, you get a full-time job in a local company. It shouldn't be a, easy process for you to get a job, right? So would you like to share, how did you get this current job?
Yeah, sure. For me, I really wanted to get a job right after graduating, but it wasn't easy at all. When I was applying, there were many visa limitations for international students, especially in the design stream. And it was a COVID-19 era, so it wasn't an easy process to find a job back then. Also, there were so many good design students in my uni, and like in the other countries, I could see them online, and they really kind of pops out. So I thought, oh, this market is very competitive, and so I decided there's need to be something to differentiate with the other designers to survive in this competitive market. I think I pushed myself really hard, and to share my note, this was my note that I put in front of my visual diary. As in like visual diary, we need to like record everything. It can be like anything like mind mapping, initial sketches, like inspiration. So UTS kind of recommends us as a designer and design students to record everything in the visual diary. And excuse me, that journal is the thing that we need to see every day. So I literally post this in front of my diary, and well, it's written in Korean, but to translate, it says you should have done it already. You're not here for fun, but for study, because I was a bit a heavy drinker back then. And it says you're not the only one who is working while studying, because I've seen so many other good designers and other good design students who works but also studies full time. And for the last paragraph, it says you need to pull yourself together. When are you going to graduate? When are you going for an internship? When are you going to get a full-time job?
Oh my God, it sounds like you push yourself so hard, right?
Yeah. So so the thing I could do was to build my work experience through internships and participating various projects in and out of uni. So no matter how big the project is, I think I treated every project as a source that I can learn and develop my skills. Also, I tried to promote myself as a professional visual communicator to others to get my own client out of uni. And meanwhile, I use the employment platforms such as LinkedIn wisely. These platforms have so much pros and make your life much easier. So through LinkedIn, you can build up the network that you're interested in. It can be just anything. It can be like design, IT, whatever. And also you can promote yourself as a designer by recording all your experiences there, and be more exposed to the headhunters in the market.
Right.
So the other great feature is that you can easily apply for a job anywhere, anytime. It kind of depends on which company that you're applying, but you can register your resume and easily apply with just one click. They also send you the notification when there is a new position coming out.
Right.
So to share my interesting story is that I was having a dinner with my friends when I applied for my company that I'm currently working on.
Mhm.
I literally got the notification on my mobile and submitted my resume with just one click, and it was that easy.
Just like that, just one click while
Yeah,
you are having a dinner and just
yeah,
apply for
exactly.
a job.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Maybe it will be more useful for us to having a look your project, your artwork you have done so
Yeah,
far.
sure. Yeah, I'll quickly share my projects that I've done. So these projects are done when I was back in uni. So yeah. So
Wow.
this is a process of my assignment. And back in the UTS college days, I was really into, well, now as well, but I'm really into a vintage 80s and 90s
Oh, okay.
that kind of
That's
like a collage.
That's my generation.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, I love that vibe. And I was having a chat with my tutor because I didn't have any ideas on my assignment. And it was really great that she kind of helped me to pull out all the inspiration connecting to my art taste.
Mhm.
And she really gave me like a good source, like where you can find this vintage magazine, and you can try like having a collage method to implement your assignment. So after having a chat with her, I can now remember that I really enjoyed experimenting all this, like finding these materials, especially like in Vinnie's or like a garage sale stores, like that. And I also can remember that I could get these 80s, like the actual 80s National Geographic magazines in just with $1. So yeah, I was having a little trouble because I got like a bunch of them and then carried all of them to my home because I need to like physically cut all of them. But it kind of helped me to implement to like these kind of artworks. And this one as well, because this is the one of the artwork that I've submitted for the UTS College grad show. It's a candle package design, and I use the same method that I've learned throughout the course and could implement the actual product.
Right.
So for this one, this is a postcard design for a international women's organization named Key into Australia. I worked as a digital marketing intern here, and I've designed the branding kit creation on Canva for the other employees there for you to use the design easily. I created illustrations and any other like marketing collateral, such as banners, like website, like this postcards. And actually, this postcards was, yeah, it was like throughout the CBD area. This is the photo of the bookshop in Town Hall, Kinokuniya. And this was my first experience that my creations has come out to the real world, and I could experience like how thrilling it is to meet my creation in the real world in a physical copy rather than just doing the assignment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good opportunity for me. And these are the illustrations that I've done for them. Actually, I have an experience of studying fine arts when I was back in Korea. So, and they kind of really liked my experience. So they wanted my kind of like an art, a bit like a, not in a very static way, but kind of free and kind of rough taste, kind of applied to their illustration style. So yeah, they were really happy about my works, which is
Mm.
really great. And then I've also worked for the local businesses as well.
Mhm.
And mainly my job was to design the logo for them. So these
Mm.
are the local business restaurants. The one that you can see on the left is a one table, very private westernized dining called Chef Billy. And the one on the right is a Korean side dish restaurant. So I
Mm.
kind of implemented the Korean characters and make them shape like a pot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see the Korean character there.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
to work
Mm.
on.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the logo that I've designed for my church. And this is the logo for the Activate UTS club. It's a God's People. It's a Korean Christian society, and I worked as a marketing director for like 2.5 years.
Mm.
In GP, same with the Key into Australia, I designed the marketing collaterals like banners, like posters, Instagram posts to promote our club.
Mhm.
This is Pure Health. I worked as a digital marketing intern as well. But interesting thing is that I was really into, I think I started to get some interest to the UX UI from this point, actually. So
Mm.
I
Okay.
had, even though I was a digital marketing intern, I spoke to my manager that I'm really interested in UX and UI. And I just told her that if there's any like opportunities I can to participate as a UX UI designer, that'll be great.
Mhm.
And I'm really glad that she kind of opened her mind and let me to participate into this stream. So
Mm.
by designing this website, I could learn like very many things, like how to deal with the engineers, how to design in a responsive way.
Mm.
Yeah. This is the product mockup and the product image that I've done for
Mm.
Pure Health vitamins.
Mm.
This is the banner and website that I've worked with Cotra.
Mm.
And this is Overswap. This was my first app design project. And
Yeah.
Overswap is actually a startup company that me and my friends made. And it was a very initial stage, and they needed the designs for the app. So yeah,
Yeah.
my first
Um.
design.
Yeah.
And like after participating as a UX UI designer in Pure Health, um,
Mhm.
I tried to participate more in like designing the website or applications. So
Mhm.
this is the project that I've done when I was in uni. It was one of the final projects in the third year.
Mhm.
So my group had to meet the actual client, who were Blue Mountains Women's Health and Resource Center. And
Mhm.
we had to design from scratch. I mean, like from the logo, from illustration, like brand kits, doing the user research and creating the user journey, designing the information architecture. And we had to implement all the prototypes.
Mm.
It's actual
Mm.
website that they can use.
Mm.
And even though it was a uni assignment, it was really useful because it kind of taught me how to deal with the actual clients, how to communicate with them, and how to have like a group design session so that we can
Mhm.
share everything. Because I think it's really important to have it as a group, as a designer.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was a really great opportunity. And yeah, if you want to find more of my artworks, just feel free to visit my portfolio website.
Okay, yeah, right. It's very, very interesting. So like within the UTS curriculum, you learn how to design logo, like illustration and the book design, even like movies, everything. You touched a little bit of everything. And then gradually you shift into become a UX designer, and actually you raise your hand to your manager while you are doing internship. Can I get an opportunity to work as a UX and UI designer? That's very, impressive story. How you proactively raise your hand. But I just, I was wondering why you choose become a UX designer other than or a different designer.
Based on my experiences as a graphic designer or digital marketer, as you can see from the work I've done, I really enjoy the works as well. But having a critical thinking and a user-centered perspective behind a product is the thing that I enjoyed the most. For me, by having a deep dive research on the users, technologies, and products, and thinking of how to make a design, how to make a better product and better design, kind of feels like making a better world. I feel like, I'm just like contributing as a designer to change the world with the better designs. So it was such a thrilling moment when the final product comes out in the market as we design. So yeah.
Right. Then so as a UX and UI designer, like many students here, if they want to become, what kind of personality is suitable for become a UX designer, do you think?
Yeah, before that, I'll just quickly introduce about the position that I do nowadays, and a brief introductory of UX UI design, and then I'll just move on to the aspects that needs to be required. So I'm a digital designer in Whitetower Digital, which is a design marketing company. We've worked with various clients such as organizations, restaurants, clinics, schools, and any other companies who needs a website or application. My position name might be new for the people who aren't familiar with the design stream yet, but it's a different name of UX UI designer. So UX UI designer is basically a combined form of UX designer and UI designer. For UX focused designer, we start from the problem that user experiences and to make a better product to reduce or solve the problem point. Therefore, user-centered approach and design thinking skills are highly required. For UI-focused designer, we implement the look of the product based on the data that UX designer has collected. So for me, I do both of the jobs together. So my job is from collecting data from user persona practice to designing the final look. I'll move on to the requirements and the attributes that are suitable to become a great UX UI designer. There are 5 points. The first point is that user-centered approach, as I mentioned before. The thing is that we need to interact with the product in a user's perspective, not in a business owner or as a designer's perspective. And the second thing is it can be an optional thing, but the second point is to be interested in coding, and it can be a very great plus point. I've seen many of my peers who actually studied IT rather than visual designs or product design. And actually in UTS as well, they have the interaction design course in a IT faculty rather than in the design faculty. So I think it doesn't really matter which course that you're in. If you're in design, that's great. If you're in IT, that's still great. So I think they have a different part, but they are all the same position. So I think, just keeping in mind that on this, it can be a plus point. The third point is that it's being able to work hard as a team, which is very essential, especially in a design market, because most of the works that are done by the teamwork. The fourth point is to have a passion for computers and understanding new technology. It's such a fast-paced world, and the new technologies and services emerge. So we need to follow up on those by keeping learning, by like having a new certificate or learning through the online courses. The final point is to be able to work to deadlines. This can be important to all the jobs, but this is especially important in this team working and client-facing environment, especially for the agencies like Whitetower. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So just adding to Jessica's point, so we don't assume, our student bring the knowledge about the coding, that kind of stuff, because to become a UX designer, some people come in with, excellent, maybe illustration skills. Some people maybe come with photography skills, or some people with, the coding skills. So we don't require coding skill. Actually, it's embedded in your curriculum, right? In design.
Yeah, especially in visual communication course, like I studied, we have the coding courses, such as like virtual reality and AR, but you don't need to worry about the coding course, because they teach you how to do the coding from the real basic, and it's not a really hard coding work as like the engineers do. So I think you need to worry about it.
Yeah, thank you. I guess the communication skills are also very important, right?
Yes.
Because you need to find out what your customer, requires and what they want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For me, with my current job, I do have lots of meetings with actual clients, and like communication skills are highly required, because we need to be leading the meeting as a designer. So
yeah. So like later on, we are going to cover the question and answer as much as we can, but just related to your presentation, how did you get your very first internship?
For the first internship, because I think I tried to find them through LinkedIn, or I've already introduced the LinkedIn just now, but there's other many platforms in Australian market, especially, for example, like Seek or Indeed. So I've seen the job description there. I did a vacancy, and if you read the job description, there are all the requirements that they want you to get as a intern. So I think I kind of prepared myself about the points they want, and tried to build out my own portfolio to prepare for the internship.
So do you reckon the, student, even though they're studying diploma or first year of uni, as soon as they start their study, they should create a LinkedIn account? Is that what you suggest?
Yeah, I strongly suggest that because
Mm,
like making LinkedIn account and how to apply for full-time job, they actually UTS kind of gives us the information when we're in the third year, which is the final year. But
mm,
I think knowing all this information in advance can save much of your time. And
mm,
actually you can keep the mind on those, and then learning the design will be a much better experience.
mm. And you already prepared, tips and advice you want to share with your fellow student and the future student, how to get a job in local company, yes?
Okay, I do have 3 points. The first point is that to get familiar with the design tools. As I mentioned before, UTS teaches you the practical and basic skills, how to use the Adobe suites and other design tools like Figma. But learning design tools in advance before the course will save so much of your time. So if you have time or a gap between the semesters, or if you haven't started the course yet, I strongly recommend you to spend your time getting used to the Adobe suites and other design tools. And I think it's really useful to getting used to using the short keys. The second point is ask people around you and use online community wisely. As a design student, it's a really natural thing that you don't know much. So don't be shy and ask people around you. They can be your tutor, your LinkedIn friend, or even the student center in uni. For example, I didn't have any seniors around me who are in a similar situation as me. So I started to ask questions to my tutor about the feedbacks for my assignments and the tips that I can get into an internship or part-time job during the uni days. Online platform like LinkedIn or other design communities was perfect for an introvert person like me. And especially it was during the COVID-19 era, so that I could find many online communities and online webinar like this. So it didn't have much pressure to attend there, because yeah, it made my pressure much lower than asking someone for help in person. I remember that I've asked for a around like 3-minute coffee chat to my LinkedIn friends who works in my dream job. We had a chat with their career journey and how they prepare for their careers. So some might ignore you, but I promise that most of the people are actually really friendly and open to willing to help you. So yeah, including myself. So if you have any, if you want somebody to help you, please let me know if you need any advice or help. Also, peer feedback was a huge help for me as well. My friends and I gave the feedbacks on each other's portfolios and resume. So after many corrections and attempts, I could get my current resume. For the third point, level up and boost up your degree. There's many opportunities of getting the certificate online, which kind of boosts up your design career, like Academic XI, General Assembly, and Coursera. So if you have any gaps between semesters or after graduation, these courses might be a good option to fill in the gap and to level up your career.
So I guess there are many students who wants to become your mentee today. So Jessica, yeah, please help our student. Yeah, in the chat box, you see a lot of questions. Yeah, maybe you can become a mentor for them. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the tips and advice for our fellow students. Maybe I will briefly mention about the UTS and UTS college course. If you want to become a UX and UI designer after studying some majors in UTS. Okay, so this is from the Good Careers Work magazine. So it's on average in Australia, UX and UI designer getting about weekly $13,000 they are getting paid, and the average they are working 43 hours. And then job outlook is very strong. So the occupation itself is very high demand. I think as a UX and UI designer, typically you will work in the IT industry, IT or IT department within some organization. And you can become an app designer, software designer, video game designer, and developer. To become UX and UI designer at UTS and UTS College, you can choose visual communication, as Jessica mentioned. You can study product design, or you can even study interaction design in IT under the IT faculty. So those majors are, highly possibly you can become a UX and UI designer. Within a UTS design architecture building, we have a visual communication, fashion design, interior design, and we also have a visual communication, product design, architecture, and landscape. Our ranking, as you can see here, number 1 in art and design school in New South Wales and 28th in the world. So if we go to the pathway option, so you can looking at the UTS College. So UTS College, we provide foundation and diploma. So student can go to diploma of design and architecture and progress to UTS design or architecture stream. Can you please show the next slide? Yeah, I'd like to briefly play one of our visual communication student who finished the diploma design and progressed to visual communication, same as Jessica. Yeah, so UTS College is a guaranteed entry pathway to UTS. So once you study diploma of design and architecture, you will get 36 credit point progress to UTS. Next slide, please. So UTS College is within a UTS campus. So easy access to every facility, library. You can even, join the student association in UTS while you are studying diploma. So again, this is the pathway program. If you are Australian student after your graduate high school and take the HSC exam, you can progress, you can apply for UTS. If you are international student, you can package it with the diploma program, progress to UTS. To get into diploma, you will need academic IELTS score 6.0. If you don't have an IELTS score, you can package it with our academic English. Or you finish high school year 11 equivalent, you can start from foundation and then progress to first year of UTS. If you are international student, you have to apply through our representative, registered agent in your country. Next slide, please. So other than Diploma of Design Architecture, we also have a Business Communication Engineering, IT and Science. From next year, one more diploma we are opening, which is Diploma of Animation, which is very exciting course we are launching. Okay, so now we're trying to go through some question and answer. So maybe Jessica and myself, we take turns. So any tips and tricks on how to build a good resume and portfolio? Jessica, do you think briefly you can answer this question?
Yeah. I think it's really good to share my screen again and quickly show you my resume. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah. So this is the resume that I've applied for most of the startup companies and design agencies. It really depends on the company that you're applying in, because they have, if it's like a big corporate, they have this static look of and kind of like a traditional resume. But for me as a designer, I think it's really important to pop out as a visual communicator. So I tried to put some fun elements to a bit like decorate and, you know, like if it is a open job, you're just like one of the applicants for the company to look. So I think it's really important to pop your resume out. And for me, I put my experiences in an order, and you can just set up the priority that you want to present first. Can be a good tip. And for me, I put the other like volunteer projects, like volunteer experiences, any achievements such as like the awards or a winner of the competitions. And I've also put my portfolio links here. And I think I categorized them into 4 different types. So one was Instagram. It's a bit more a chill, about like a bit more casual vibe. On the website, I focus more on UX side. And on my Behance, I focus more on the graphic design side. So yeah, I think it's really important to categorize in a very simple visual way so that the applicants kind of review quickly and you can get the and they can get the information easily.
Thank you, Jessica. So we quickly go to the next question. So how can UTS design meet the demand of the current design industry. So I guess UTS as a young university, we always consult with our industry partners. UTS has more than 1,000 industry partners in the world. So we keep updating and we keep review the curriculums, trying to meet the industry demand, like industry current trends. So we keep reviewing the current trend and what industry want our graduate to be employed. Yeah. And also if you just want to study design skills, you can go to the private schools in Sydney, but I guess UTS Design School, they teach how to research, and then from the research methodology, critical thinking, problem solving. Is it you reckon, Jessica, do you want to add anything to answer this question?
Yeah, and I really agree with what Helen just said. And to be honest, we as a UTS graduate, we do have the name of the UTS. So the people out there in the market, they know that the UTS design students done really well. They're doing a great job. So yeah, I think it's really working in the market.
Yeah. I guess as Jessica mentioned, UTS College and UTS helped to get her success career at the moment. So the next question will be, have you ever seen the AR VR? Have you ever worked on a AR VR project?
Yeah, so as I mentioned during the presentation, we do have the AR and VR course. I think it was around like second year of the uni course. And we do kind of experience the visual reality with the actual glasses. And there is a really fun session how to make the VR glass with the paper. And besides AR and VR, I'm not sure that you can visit the DAB building, but if you go to DAB building, there are tons of great professional studios like photography, AI, I can't remember now, but yeah, there are many good professional clean big studios you can experience throughout the course. So yeah, I kind of highly recommend to use all of them. And if you need any help, just don't hesitate to have a chat with the tutor how to book the studio.
Yeah, I think we already explained the application process. There's a very interesting question here from Juha Lim. So obviously your course is not a PR related course. So this student wants to know, if there is any opportunity to get a PR.
Yeah, I think it's a really important question for the people who wants to settle in Australia. I kind of worried about this as well, but there are many options. You can either get the sponsorship from your company, or I believe that the immigration is a bit it will be changing from this coming July. And I think it's really important to keep an eye on them, because I believe that graphic designer, web designer, and motion designer, maybe, they kind of shift to the group that they can apply for PR. So yeah, there are still many opportunities overseas, so I think I think you don't need to worry about it now.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I want to say is that I think it's more important to study what you want rather than just thinking of PR and getting the citizenship. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jessica. Yeah, so you should because studying in university, it's not easy. It's a lot of commitment. Yeah, so do whatever you want to study. Yeah, that's my advice as well. And PR or whatever you want to become, it follows, right? Do you agree, Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there weren't many like Korean designers who came to Sydney or Australia to study design. And I've seen some of the seniors, but they all went back to Korea to get a job there. And so it wasn't sure for me, like, oh, can I get a PR or citizenship here? But I really wanted to say to Juhais that it's really open. And yeah, if you want to, there is a option for them. So I think you don't need to worry, which is a good news.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, thank you so much of your, your positive comment in the chat box. Yeah, we really appreciate your time. Maybe some of you can, you can become, you can connect it with Jessica on LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Jessica?
Yeah, so I'm really happy to present my experience on this webinar. Just feel free to send me an invitation on LinkedIn or Behance, any other platforms. I'm really happy to connect with you all. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everyone who joined the webinar session today. Have a nice day.